He's going to be able to win $100,000 out of the total $250,000 prize pool. And Fnatic have already done it once. We'll see if they can defend the title here and get it happening. Olofmeister in the middle, but it's a firing squad for NiP, and Fnatic are coming out on top. Forest, the only one returning a kill in the middle of all that chaos. Get right, Fiflaren Forest still left. JW trying to make a run for it. They actually don't do any damage to him. That's pretty impressive.
He makes it out in one piece, and that's not what was supposed to happen. You could clearly tell both of these teams, they wanted to hit the ground running right here in the pistol, catch the other team off guard. But Fnatic coming out ahead means that NiP have to reset once again, slow the pace, and look to see if Fnatic are going to give them the opportunity to get an entry frag, to get onto one of these sites.
Bit of a dangerous game here for Get Right to play. Normally Glock versus P2000 or USPS is a really, really hard battle to win unless you hit an instant headshot. Flusher coming in, Get Right is looking for it with the pistol, and they're trying to wrap around through Archway here, and he's going to kick up the kill on Flusher. Krim's now in Library, and this is back into a 3-on-3. Still 40 seconds for NiP to make a move. Krim's rotating back and forth so much, and Get Right comes up with an insane headshot, jumping in. That has opened up the map completely. He's going to take matter into his own hands here and see if he can get it done. Can he find a third one? JW trying to rotate back, but he's trapped right now. He's out of the B bomb site, and if he tries to get back in, Get Right might pick him off. He's going to go for it here. The bomb will be planted. JW, the only one defending, and what a sick headshot. Takes down Forest, and it is a 2-on-2.
The 2-on-2 retake situation. Now it's all about Fnatic keeping their cool, but you have two heavy hitters rolling in. Olofmeister only with 16 HP, but lethal just the same. And speaking of lethal, hello, Get Right, takes out JW, and now it is the 2-on-1. Olofmeister has to roll into the crossfire, flashes out CT, uses the molly to clear one half, but we have a man waiting on the site. It is Fiflaren, who's going to keep him off the bomb, and the molly actually backfires. Olofmeister forced out into the open, and Get Right with the quad kill in their terrorist pistol round.
Very nicely done. That Molotov, Ollie almost jumped into it. He just was so focused on that bomb. Get right, 4 kills in a pistol round.
That's heartbreaking. Olofmeister actually mollied himself away from the bomb. He had no way of getting onto it because it actually dinked off an edge there and came right back at him. That's heartbreaking. Fnatic have to recover here in this second round, but they are on Inferno, they are on CT, and they are absolutely capable.
Yeah, really good grenades from NiP, but an even better shot with the C-set takes down Exist, and they also have the 2 scouts, and now a Galil picked up as well, so Fnatic scavenging whatever weapons they can, and this scout buy has been working out. I would say this is a really strange map to go for scouts on, but it's the grand finals of a major tournament. If you're going to pull out something utterly insane, now is probably the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly right. And Pronax, not often that we see him use the scout, but JW could very well take some faces off with the gun. So NiP have to be very careful here about how they approach this site. They still have a couple nades to work with. Get Right going with the double flash and a smoke, so they could be able to set up a play here. And it does seem like NiP are going to be sneaking through, gathering up, and looking to get onto that site as quickly as possible. Just overwhelm the defense in a brutal rush.
JW down here, scout in hand, misses the shot, point blank range, and actually Olofmeister will pick up another kill. C-set 75, Get Right trying to adjust with the P90, and JW, can he actually find a kill here? It's Flusher who comes in with the stolen Galil, leaving Get Right alone in a 1-on-3. Nice play from Fnatic. That C-set on Olofmeister picking up a huge double kill, and that's really the major deal right now. Get Right trapped, still gonna pick up the 1 kill here, 20 seconds left. He's gonna go for the bomb, but he gets taken down. Triple from Flusher, and NiP gets slain by Fnatic.
You see how hype Flusher is as well. Hashtag just Flusher things. We have to start that again because he's clearly shown up and dominated in this second round. That's turned everything around now. NiP lose all of the momentum that they had after that pistol, and it's now Fnatic with the reins in hand. Flusher with just, I mean, a dominant performance on that side. Rolls in, instantly gets 2 kills, and that's the NiP push done. It doesn't even matter that JW wasn't landing shots. Flusher was there to save the day. Now we go into the 3rd round here, and NiP will be forced to eco.
Now, an uncomfortable throwback to what happened on Cash, as Sean Gers was pointing out. That map was maybe even decided in the first couple of rounds when they kept going back and forth, and if NiP are going to be thrown into the same pattern on Inferno, that could be really scary. Of course, you're on the terrorist side, you only have to win about 5 or 6 rounds and you're going to be alright, but right now they're at 1, and Fnatic, they do have a very, very solid CT side hold.
all three members here as well. Crims with that lethal swag 7 right around the corner. He's going to be looking for a shot, but the smoke goes down, and that's going to block him off. And our NiP actually going to go for a Fnatic plant. Guess what? They know how to stop it. Exist just barely fails to get the shot. Olofmeister will kill the planter, but the bomb is down, and that's the whole point of this play. I love that NiP are actually using Fnatic's own strategy against them.
Yeah, that's got to sting a little bit, right? Crims is actually going to get the kill finally with that one, and it's going to be JW with the final one, but you are right. The main idea here is just to get the bomb down, get the $800 bonus for everyone on the team. That's how the economy works for any new visitors out here. Even if you lose the round, you still get the bonus, and that is going to be right into the 4th round, as NiP will have enough money to force it up if they wanted to, and they must know Fnatic's economy is not exactly looking great, so they could actually go for it, but right now they're debating it, and there it is.
And that's very much an Exist thing. Exist, he's a man who looks at their money, he's like, we have 32, 3,300, buy. Just buy. Go for it. Keep the pressure going. They will not let up. They cannot let Fnatic start to develop a bank. That is the crucial point here for NiP. They need to make sure that they keep the pressure up on Fnatic, keep them spending money round after round, so that if NiP win a round, there's a high risk that Fnatic are going to be forced to eco, and that's when NiP will get all the rounds that they need in this half. NiP really only need 5 rounds. Their CT side is very solid, so they only really need 5 rounds on this T side to start thinking that this is a successful performance.
Look at this, Get Right. Doesn't wait for the smoke, just charges in, but it's not enough. JW and Flusher picked up a sick kill. Second one from Flusher, and it's a 2-on-4. Forest very low on health here. That was a very explosive round from NiP, but Flusher manages it mid-air. JW picks up that shot with the AWP, and NiP just get destroyed running in here. And that was actually looking so good. I love that move from Get Right. He realized that once the flashbang was up, the next thing coming up in that sequence was going to be a smoke, so he just charges through it while the rifle isn't even out yet. And that should have actually been the perfect opening, so I love that. And you know what? That falls up from NiP. Somewhere out there in the audience, Seventh is watching and enjoying that they keep buying like this, because that's something that Cloud9 did all throughout this tournament.
Yeah, it's a taste of their own medicine sort of thing going on right now. NiP are going to be the ones forced to eco here, and because Fnatic have held so very well, they have plenty of money going into it. But once again, really a lot having to do with Flusha there. You know, the individual performance from Flusha is just ridiculous. I think he's at 6-1-2, and that is just a brutal scoreline to have so early on your CT half. But now we have to see if this rush is going to be able to work here from NiP. Once again, the smoke goes down, and are they going to try and change it up? The crossfire is already established here by Fnatic, and they are just looking to shut them down, and Exist changes up the position of the plant. It's such smart play.
Yeah, again, holding it is something you can't do. In fact, they're not going to get a single kill, but the bomb plant happens, and if this keeps going up here, Fnatic got to be careful, because NiP could end up getting a lot more buy rounds in this first half than they normally would, and who knows if that's going to be enough. But the positive thing for Fnatic is they keep winning rounds where they don't actually really lose anyone. Flusher, 9-1-2 right now, top fragging. Pronex hasn't picked up a single kill, but then neither has Freiburg. It is still really early in the first half for NiP, in fact, and this is a slightly worrying trend. It's only Get Right who's really done anything. 7, and then everyone else has 1 except for Freiburg.
Yeah, Freiburg actually having a 0-2-5 start, and that is definitely not what you want to be seeing. I mean, Freiburg is the entry fragger for NiP. He's the man who gets up into Banana, who starts getting the frags and start forcing the rotations out of enemy teams. If he isn't filling that role right now, NiP will struggle, so we need to see Freiburg step up his game, but we are already seeing NiP going with the buy here, and Forest does have the AWP. JW also. JW really one of those offers that we can look to have a strong performance on Inferno. He has shown time and time again that he will get the frags on this map.
Exist looking over the smoke. Very common boost now. Everyone knows this. Be surprised if Crims is going to get caught off guard by it. He should be able to pre-fire, at least just avoid getting killed from this position. Been so used, and he's actually not even going to peek it, so that's another way to deal with it. Crims is alone over here, and Fnatic going for a very standard play, which is leaving 1 guy in Banana and 4 people at the A-bomb side, something we've seen all over the place. Geralt is going to flash over here, and actually, are they going to try and pick Crims off?
Oh, that is a very clever flash. That is a very clever play there by NiP. Just overwhelming aggression straight into Banana, and there's Freiburg taking point, taking the charge, trying to spray through. If Crims was on the other side of that, he would be a very sad customer right now, but he wisely backs off to the side. Olofmeister is there to support him now as well. The 2 XLGB members working so well together to lock down that site. They've done it time and time again, and we have to see if NiP will ever be able to crack that defense, but for now, they have to move over to the A side and start looking for a frag. JW somehow missing a very clear shot there.
And Forest also missing. I have no idea how that happened. Forest goes over to Library, and JW is going to take him down. And Forest actually had no backup then. That was a little bit strange. Pronex with a good double kill, and time is also running out here for NiP. Exist and Freiburg should just be running away and try and save these rifles if they can, but Fnatic are hunting them, and they definitely should. They have so much money to work with that they don't even care any longer. Freiburg gets the 1 kill and is going to be staying alive. That was pretty close.
That was crucial, in fact.
There's one thing, before we even got to Cologne, I had this prediction. I'm going to try and share it with you, because if it ends up being true, it'll be fun. There is a trick that we saw Sipnix from Team Dignitas do on this map, and it's at the bottom of Inferno. You can boost up in a very cheeky spot down by the archers down there, and I haven't seen that for such a long time that I bet one of these two teams will have forgot it, and the other one is going to try and do it. I predict that that's going to happen, and we'll have to find out if it's ever going to be used. 7 rounds in, it's a 5-1 lead here for Fnatic, and they start off really well here on the final map.
Yeah, now they're actually starting to push down a little bit. The original nades there, thrown by NiP to try and hold them back. Olofmeister will find the shot on Exist. Freiburg does return, picks off Pronax. He's still here, though, and he's going for more. 2 big frags. The third man is here, however, and Freiburg has to back off, but Freiburg somehow opens it up single-handedly. All 3 frags, but the bomb is on the other side.
Yeah, but that could be all right. Fnatic are making a huge rotation. Freiburg, all he has to do is stay alive, and it's going to be great. Oh, he picks up a quad kill. He could do even better than staying alive. He gets the kill. Now, is it going to be an ace with 5 HP? That's what's on the plate right now for Freiburg. JW, on the other hand, has quite a different menu to chew through here. He's got a 1-on-3 with an AWP. He gets the right bomb site, but the bomb goes down. So now he not only has to kill 3 members of NiP, he also has to defuse the bomb. And I'm wondering if it isn't smarter at this point, try and find a way out, but from the depths, Freiburg, like a hungry shark, just inching his way forward here. He wants that ace, and that would be absolutely brutal. Fnatic, that could really rock them. Freiburg comes in, he sprays, Freiburg misses, and it's the ace! He picks it up single-handedly, ruins Fnatic. What a play!
This could be a turning point. NiP, that has got to be shattering for Fnatic, and they bounce back from being manhandled by Freiburg. And the master of Banana certainly is here. Only him walking forward and getting all 3 frags to open up that site. But the mind games from NiP, forcing JW out into the open with as safe a plan as they could manage. Just so very well done. Fnatic, however, plenty of money to buy up in this round. They will have all the gear necessary to hold off the push. And they're actually changing it up as well, and I do like this.
JW is missing some shots here that he shouldn't be right now, and it hasn't actually cost Fnatic yet, but if he keeps doing it, it could really come back to haunt them. So normally not the style that we see from him, but he's also been playing a lot more passively than we normally see from him. No crazy apartments push, no push up into the window room, and that could be a switch up that Fnatic can do if they need to.
Now, this is something that we've been seeing from NiP quite a bit. 2 men in Banana, and usually it's been, Freiburg solo, but Exist is there to support him. Fnatic happen to be changing up how they're holding as well, however, so it seems like that ace might have rattled them a little bit. No aggression down Banana this time around. Only the 2 guys holding very passively, and now Fnatic realize, okay, we need to be careful. We need to be playing passively, patiently, making sure that we don't give NiP the entry. We can't let them get any momentum now, and Flusha peeks out and does just that, gives it away.
Yeah, a little bit too soon for JW. Really good grenade out here. Actually does just a little bit of damage, and he misses another one here. JW, it's time to connect. He can't keep doing this. 3rd strike's coming up. Olofmeister battling it out, and will take down Forest. And JW still hasn't got the kill here towards CT spawn. He's going to go for it with the C set 75 instead, and he's actually going to pick up the kill on Flaren inside the B bomb side. Exist takes down Crims, and it is a 3-on-3, but I think Fnatic have the advantage right now. Bomb only just going down. They're already at the bomb side, and they have the health advantage too.
They certainly have the health advantage, and Get Right just caught with his knife out, but Freiburg strikes right back with 8 HP, picks up 1 frag, and turns this into a 2-on-2. JW, he knows that he's going to need the bullets. Reloads, and Pronax and JW now have to move in together and just overwhelm this so very quickly. The smoke going to go down to cut the man off from Flowers. Spray going through, but it's not going to do anything. Existent Ninja, aptly named. He's standing his ground. He gets 1 frag, turns it into a 1v1. JW running out of time. Does he have it? He does not. There is no time for the defuse, and NiP will take the 3rd round on the board.
Now, right from a really good hook onto Fnatic, an ace from Freiburg into a failed defuse with a few seconds left. These are 2 really, really devastating rounds. Fortunately, Fnatic can still buy, so they have 1 more chance to recover and see if they can catch their breath here. If they get the next round, I bet Fnatic are going to stabilize instantly, but if they lose it, NiP could equalize this score back into a 5-5 situation, and that would be a massive impact on this first half.
That would be brutal. Oh, that would be such a turnaround. If Fnatic actually get knocked out, they are out of money, Anders. This round is so important for Fnatic, but they lose a man yet again, and we know what happens when NiP get the entry. They become an unstoppable force. Will Fnatic be able to weather the storm? We're about to find out now. They saved the AWP, so Flusha, or Olofmeister rather, will be picking that up. Makes sense. And we have to see if he can find an opportunity to pick up a frag and bring it back to a 4-on-4 situation here.
Olofmeister scoped up in the middle, and he's definitely very good. He doesn't hit the shot. I don't know what's going on. Fnatic are usually so on point with this AWP, and last time it did cost them. That was JW missing a number of important kills. They gotta start hitting those shots.
They can't let NiP get away scot-free like that, not when it's a freebie. And NiP, 40 seconds left. Still time on this clock, still nades as well to work with. Olofmeister peeks, and he picks it up. Forrest trying to work the angle there, trying to draw them out. There's still a man alive, however, that's Get Right, but this is Get Right on a mission. Sneaky Snake on the grass. And he is going to be looking, but Olofmeister turns away at the last second.
Oh, for the smoke
shot.
assist. Are you joking? Gonna be taking down Crims. That leaves Flusha alone. Is it gonna happen again? Olofmeister guessing through there, not connecting, but Flusha will. That bomb still not down. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. They're gonna have to go for the plant, and Flusha can't guess the angle right this time. It's a 3-on-3. Fnatic last time, the retake didn't work. This time, they're feeling more solid. Get Right coming up from behind, but he's also alone in a 1-on-2. Throws out another grenade here, gets up another kill. Is it happening again? Pronax is alone. That bomb is in the middle of nowhere. He's gonna have to sit down in the open. He goes down! Get Right clutches it, it happens again! Oh my God, Get Right. He does it. That's a third round in a row, and that might be the last strike that Fnatic have. 3 rounds running, Semler.
3 rounds, and they've burned their bank. Fnatic are now on the back foot. Fnatic are now the ones reeling. Some of those punches have connected, Anders and NiP. They're not going to stop swinging. This is when they go barreling forward. They want to make sure that Fnatic cannot recover in this half. Fnatic going for the swag 7 on Olofmeister, the shotty in hand. That will get him $900 a kill. We'll have to see if he can find any here. And he is pushing up fairly aggressively. Is there going to be a man around the corner? Yes, there is. Lands a tag on Get Right, drops him down to half health, but he will make it out alive.
I love the idea from Olofmeister. Instead of letting NiP gain confidence and, you know, assert control of the map, he decides the right when we're about to go down, we'll try and take a swing back. If he got that kill on Get Right, that would have been immense. But this right now, what we're witnessing right here, feels like a throwback to the NiP of early 2013, where they had an 87-0 LAN record. This type of play that we just saw from Get Right, that's classic right here. And if that's what they're gonna pull up in the grand finals, Fnatic have got to step up their A game. Nothing has been decided yet, but it's a 5-4 scoreline, could be 4-5-5. Now this boost here is not the one that I was talking about, so I can't take credit yet. This is a very common one, and I'd be surprised if NiP don't see this.
Yeah, when there's one man, they're going to be standing right on top of each other, though. So it could be at least one frag there going Fnatic's way, but it seems like NiP want to set up elsewhere. JW sprays through the smoke and manages to catch Exist on the edge of it, but he does not make it out alive. Get Right will shut him down. 2 members remaining on this A site. Flusha about to get smoked off, takes a lot of damage to the face. NiP wrapping around onto this site, taking their time, but Olofmeister's waiting around the corner, and there's the first frag. Goes for the jumping shot, but he's not getting it. He is getting overwhelmed until he finally lands the shot, and this is now the push coming to a halt. 8 seconds left on this clock, but it's not gonna matter. 5-4, do they get the plant?
They do. Last second they pick it up, and Flusha's so close here, but he only has a pistol with 12 bullets in it to kill 2 people, and he's gonna go for it. Picks up the 1, and Get Right takes him down with a triple kill. Oh my God, that was close. Fnatic just 1 bullet away from upsetting NiP, and that would have been the perfect comeback.
That was also a very, very solid eco round from Fnatic, dealing massive damage to NiP's economy, killing 3-4 members in the end. Just lethal. And now they bring it back to a 5-on-5 and have the money for a buy. Olofmeister will be the one with the AWP. It's not going to be on JW, but Fnatic, they have this capability. They can change things up, and they're doing just that.
Yeah, this is that aggressive apartments push that I was talking about earlier. This is exactly what Fnatic can do if they feel like it, and so far NiP are aware of the situation, but it doesn't matter. Olofmeister actually taking a little bit of time to do that, getting the job done right, and JW They might be the ninjas, but he's got some swag to him as well. It's going to be taking down Flaren, and that's the bomb drop as well. What a great comeback from Fnatic. This is tactical brilliance.
It is complete and utter change of pace. I'm sure NiP are expecting Fnatic to play safe, play careful, try to hold the angles. Instead, Fnatic come rushing at him, full on swinging. NiP just trying to overwhelm the site, and they do manage to pick off Flusha. But there's 57 seconds left on this clock, and the bomb is on the other side of the map. Get Right is going to be the man we're looking for here, but Fnatic at this point cannot peek. They cannot give any opportunity here to NiP to get another frag. JW even just going to smoke it off and make absolutely sure that Get Right can't use that way in.
Freiburg still waiting over here, and maybe Pronax going to get caught walking back. Almost Freiburg looking for the headshot. Pronax kind of trapped behind this truck, but if Freiburg just stays here, I think Pronax should almost be fine with it, because they must realize the bomb is still in control. Yeah, they still know where the bomb is, so Pronax just waiting. That's smart play. NiP basically ran to the end zone and didn't bring the bomb, so no touchdown so far. JW there's going to take down Exist, so they're really doing a fine job this round. JW, a fantastic double kill and controlling the bomb the whole round here. Get Right comes charging in, can't even pick up the kill. That's a fantastic triple. JW single-handedly winning this round.
Masterful play. The combination punch, Olofmeister with the op onto the man on bridge, and JW with the sneak, giving Get Right a taste. Now they know exactly what's happening here. Fnatic bounce right back into this game. 6 rounds on the board, money to buy. And NiP are now the ones whose economy has been shredded. They are down to pistols in this round. A single smoke and a single flash. And I'm curious if they're going to go for the play yet again, Anders.
We're about to find out if it's going to happen or not. They already used a smoke, I think, so that's just a flash left. So just a bit of I don't want to say coincidental buy, but they want to make sure they don't get picked off by Olofmeister too soon in that mid.
It's going to be the pop flash out through A, and then just YOLO off the balcony straight onto that site, see if they can't get that plant. There are currently only one member. There's only one guy on this side of the site right now, so they could potentially get out here if that man doesn't hit his spray, but instead, NiP. We look. How are they going to time it? There it is. The rush begins, and Olofmeister gets the first shot on Flaren.
He actually lets the first guy go by and kills the second one. There's so much control in what Olofmeister is doing. It's not for nothing that Sean Gares nominated him as one of the most up-and-coming players in Europe. He picks up another kill here, and he's going to get help from his teammate quick, and they just deal with that round fine. But the immense control, and with the amount of pressure that's on everyone right here, holding that control and being so cool is a really rare talent. It's something you cannot learn. It's just something you are.
Exactly. Ice in your veins. I mean, Flusha has demonstrated it time and time again. Olofmeister as well. I mean, Fnatic right now, if they fall back on the tactics, they get back en route with the plan, you can be sure that Pronax has it all under control right now, and Devilwalk is looking over their shoulder, making sure that they are communicating that they've got everything right. But Olofmeister takes yet another shot down mid, and he is not going to connect. An opportunity missed, but then lines it up through the smoke on Freiburg, gets a great pick, and now Fnatic, they have the advantage on this site, although NiP are not wasting any time at all.
No, really pushing aggressively here. Flusha, though, in the pit, going to pick up the bomb carrier. Forest with a good return on to Olofmeister. They got to get rid of Flusha really quick or smoke him off here. One or the other. Deal with him or ignore him. It's just basically what they need to do. Get Right is going to be taking down Pronax. They just have 3-on-3. Bomb goes down, but this is a weird situation. Get Right might be everything here. Is it gonna happen again? He's waiting on the corner, AK in hand, he sprays down one and very nearly gets Crims as well. And that bomb is already ticking, but they have kits. Flaren here. How could he possibly save this round? This box you could shoot right through, and Flusha knows it. Triple kill, and the round has to go to Flusha here, staying alive and getting the kills.
Exactly. NiP did their best to ignore him as long as possible, but facing him towards the end there really gave Flusha the opportunity to step up to the task, despite Get Right's best efforts trying to draw the attention, or over to quad rather. That is just a very solid hold from Fnatic, dealing with the early aggression from NiP with the fast push up short as well. So NiP really trying to throw a loop on Fnatic, trying to catch them off guard. Fnatic, even down a man on the A defense, handle it with ease.
Now, what did work well for NiP is that they got the bomb plant down. They also killed a number of people, so Fnatic's economy is still very low. And NiP actually make a force buy based off that information. They realize if we win one more round here, we could bounce ourselves all the way up to 7-8 for the first half, and that would be a big achievement. Already 5 rounds, I think, is going to be enough for NiP to be able to make a comeback here. But JW instantly takes down Forest, and Forest unfortunately cut away from his teammates. Now, they go for the boost again, but Fnatic just too aggressive here.
At this point, I almost wonder why NiP are rebuying here in this sort of situation, right? Because if they have 5 rounds on the board, that's already solid. Like, they can do work with 5 if they pick up the pistol in the second half, right? Why not eco 1 round and make sure that you have full equipment going into the last round to give yourself the best chance at picking up 9-6 instead of that 10-5 finish?
That's a judgment call, isn't it? And he's already shown Exist. He's willing to do this all the time. And well, they've made it to grand final, so something is working. And for JW, it's working too. He took down another player right through the smoke. Exist on 26 points of health right now. And he's going to go down. That's Crims picking up that kill. And the bomb is dropped as well. They must have spotted it right there. So now Fnatic are in complete control of the round. And NiP are going to have enough to buy some Galils, I think, but they might even go for pistol armor instead of grenades. Geralt is going to be taking down JW, leaving Fnatic alone. 1-on-4 here with 20 seconds.
Decides to go Galil. He's just going to flash in and see if he can't get in here fairly quickly. Now Olafmeister is holding around the angle. The smoke is going to go down to block him off. And Crims, he really has no HP right now. But there's only 8 seconds left, and Fnatic will wrap through. Olafmeister with perfect timing gets the flank on Fiflaren, wanting to make absolutely sure that Fiflaren couldn't go for some kind of crazy plant and get it off there for NiP. But now we can see the effect that this has had. NiP going into this 15th round, it's around 3,000, 3,300. That really isn't enough, even for a Galil buy, really. I mean, Get is going to go AK and just straight Kevlar, not even a helmet to deal with those M4s.
Yeah, Galil on Fiflaren without any armor, which is really dangerous here. Flusher in the middle. They keep switching up this AWP, and this is obviously because Flusher had the spawn for the middle, so normally it'd be on probably all of Meisters. We see them switching out guns here, but nice work from Fnatic. Very simple stuff as well, but if you get the right spawn for the middle, you might as well be the one picking up the AWP. What are they going to be doing here? They have 4 Molotovs on NiP's side, so they can definitely crisp some Fnatic players if they get the right Molotovs in, and especially in the pit where Flusher was holding earlier, Molotovs can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, we like fire, don't we, Anders?
A little bit, right?
This is perfect. Double smoke going in, and we can see it here. They want to completely smoke Flusher out of that pit and deal with him later. We can see the Molly's raining in as well. They're just going to coat the entire site. Molly's just raining in, and there we go. Flusher will be forced around the angle. The flash doing quite a bit of damage, and Fiflaren drops down and gets the instant headshot. But Pronax, he's still alive, out in the open, holding short, and as they come rushing through, he's going to go for the spray. He gets 1, and he's still alive. 2 for Pronax, and this is crumbling. NiP getting stuck in the pit.
Now Fiflaren picking up 1 more Get Right. Can they do this? It's a 2-on-3. They have time here to take this fight, but JW is going to take a kill. He's been so good so far. Get Right. Can he stand up to JW? He can. He finds the headshot. Is it going to happen again? Get Right and Frigo has so many great rounds, and Get Right especially has been clutching in massively here on the first half. Crims is alone in the 1-on-2. The bomb has been planted. Now he does have a kit, but this is the 15th round. 9-6 is a very different taste for NiP than 10-5 is, and Crims has no grenades. He's sneaking in. He realizes he's gonna have to go. They're not peeking. They're not giving this one up easily. Crims inching forward at the moment, and he's gonna get spotted already. Now they know exactly where he is. Get Right hiding, just letting him get distracted. Crims with a jumping shot. He's gonna go straight for it. Exist stops it once now. Just timing 2, 3, and Exist will take the round. Very, very well done for NiP. The smokes down to pit, and then the entry with the Molotovs. And Fiflaren with the opening pick down on Flusher. That was so huge, and he picked up a second one. I think actually this round is mostly credited to Fiflaren.
Yeah, setting up with those Molotovs to clear Flusher out. The flash as well, doing quite a bit of damage to him, but when it comes down to it, it was Pronax and it was Fiflaren. Fiflaren with 2 and Pronax with 2 from that site. Pronax really slowing down NiP. But when it gets down to the end of that round, Exist and Get Right played it perfectly, setting up the crossfire, making it impossible for Crims really to get in there. He takes out 1 man, but then in that 1v1, Exist plays it perfectly. So going into this second half here, 9-6 at the end of this half, that's actually very scary for Fnatic. I'm sure they would have expected going into this having an 11-4 finish nearly. That is the scoreline that Fnatic were looking for, because they want to have a dominant lead going into the second half. If they land a pistol, they want to close it out fast before NiP can get rolling. Forest, Get Right, they're all forces of nature on Inferno, and Fnatic are going to have to deal with them now.
Fnatic do look a little bit displeased at the moment, and I think you're right, because actually 9-6 is not that unmanageable for Fnatic, but if you're expecting 11-4, it is slightly different. That's the thing. So I think it's their expectations working against them right now. The thing is, there was a version of Fnatic where, and there was a Pronax in the lead and everything, where they had so many incredible T-side strats on Inferno, and for the longest time, they've just not used them. We saw NiP, and you pointed this out, Semler, in the game. We saw NiP using them when they smoke out the front of the B bomb site, and also the one smoking off the front of the A bomb site, where you plant, actually not with the default plant, but one that's a little bit further up, smokes toward pit. All of this is classic Fnatic stuff, and if they can bring this home and make it work as effectively as it did at one point, they are a very strong team on the terrorist side.
Oh yes, they are. Pronax is the man who will spend hours just setting up smokes, figuring everything out, visualizing how it's going to go for his team when it comes to crunch time, when it gets into the game. But now is the best time for Fnatic to show us something new. Pronax, let's see what he's got in his magical bag of tricks as the countdown begins. 3 seconds and we're into it. Fnatic on the T side now, NiP on the CT side, and we have to see whether NiP can hold. Going for a very classic hold, in fact.
Yeah, nothing tricky here. NiP don't want to risk it. They realize they had a really good first half. They just need to play standard, seal the deal, and hope that Fnatic are not going to be up to the task here.
Very slow pace, in fact, from Fnatic, really taking their time, hoping to see if NiP are going to be pushing aggressively anywhere to get information, or if they're going to try and gang up anywhere, really. So Fnatic hanging back, making sure that they can punish any kind of overextension coming out from NiP. But now is where we see these nades start to come into play. Pronax has a double flash and smoke available.
I love this setup from NiP. Fnatic going to have to land some excellent grenades or some instant headshots to deal break this. Actually, now they fall back, which is a little bit of a shame. There's still about a minute left on the clock here. Forest picking up the C set in the pistol round, and he's going to be waiting here. They're going to come charging in. They've already spotted him. He charges out, and he's going to go down. Olofmeister gets the opening. Fnatic, this round is huge for them if they can take it. Flaren falls next. Now Exist trying to recover, but it's not working. Fnatic with a perfect entry, and I think NiP swapped their positions exactly 5 seconds too early.
Exactly, at the wrong time there. The nades largely ineffective for Fnatic as well. The flash, as we could see, not really stopping anybody, but in the end, really, Forrest not able to land his shots. For Flaren, Exist, everybody getting overrun. It comes down to Get Right and Freiburg now in a 2-on-4 retake situation. They go rushing up onto the site. Sees head in hand. Get Right gets 1 kill. They each do, in fact, but it's not going to be enough. Flusha and Pronax live to save the day, and Fnatic will have 10 rounds now on the board. The pistol is secure, and as we can see, the rifles as well. The question is, what do NiP decide to do here? Is it going to be an R-rebuy? And it doesn't look like it. It looks like straight CZs apart from the shotgun on Get Right. And we know how lethal he can be with this shotty.
Yeah, and Inferno is almost the perfect map for the CZs and the Mag 7, because Fnatic, if NiP played right, have no chance but to get close at one point. I hope Fnatic are going to use as many grenades as they can to try and scare NiP from the most close positions so that they can force them back in a bomb site and maybe get into a slightly better one. But if they just walk around corners without throwing any grenades or using any of the stuff they have, that's where everything turns. And this whole tournament has been very, very heavily influenced by the anti-eco rounds that have been lost.
That's true. I mean, you have players that are terrified about going around corners because they know a CZ could be lurking like this. Exist peeks. He doesn't get the opportunity right, though. Olofmeister backs off just in the nick of time to stay alive. And Exist will still be alive here on this site, trying to change up his position because at this point, he needs to try and make it sound like there are 3 guys, 4 guys on this site.
Yeah, he's really trying to sell it here, but he's already made a little bit of noise and sneaking through the smoke, hiding in the corner. He's actually going to catch Flusha, but he's only got about 12 bullets more left here. Getting more kills is really difficult. They're wrapping around into the A-bomb site. Backup is coming from NiP, but once the bomb is down, the game changes here, and Fnatic will accomplish that much. They have time to get into good positions. They should be able to hold on to this round.
Retake is real if we can see it. They have a gun to work with now on Exist. That Galil could be a big problem. Get Right still with the shotty. But there's a great lineup from Olofmeister. Instant headshot on Exist. That's a Galil drop. Olofmeister just cutting them down in droves. Freiburg is out of the picture, and we're into a 4-on-3 hold now for Fnatic. They just need to play patient. They need to stay on the site, hold the angles, and they are off on the hunt. Olofmeister just collecting frag after frag. Only 300 with that SMG, but still, that's 900 total he's got this round. Not bad.
And a little bit of a shame that Forrest couldn't hold on to that Galil. I'm actually very confused about why NiP decided to stick around. I know they were probably looking for exit kills, and that's a really good pickup from Gerard there, at least taking down Olofmeister. But I think a Galil in this round instead of the pistol he's going to have, that would have made a big difference.
I would have had an impact, that's for sure. Right now, though, the question is, NiP, you know, they just need to try and get more damage done to Fnatic. They need to make sure that Fnatic are spending money, and it's not getting completely out of control here for Fnatic, but they aren't wasting any time either, Fnatic. They don't mind actually going up to full nades, getting everybody equipped with rifles, so that in the next round, the round to come, when NiP have the rifles, Fnatic will be prepared.
This is the calm before the storm right now. Once NiP pick up those rifles, a lot of this grand finals is going to be decided. Fnatic ready to go into that B bomb site. Molotov, and this is what I'm talking about. They're making sure that NiP have to move back so they can't hide on those really, really good corners where pistols can be used. So I'm absolutely loving the way Fnatic are playing these anti-eco rounds. So this is actually something they've been very good at doing all tournament long. And a huge reason, I think, why they're in this finals to begin with.
No, it has been great leadership. I mean, they went through their semifinals with a dominant performance, a 2-0 over a favorite to get into the finals, Team Dignitas. So Fnatic have earned it, and they are showing us why here live now. And we shall see. Forrest gets the drop on the man, manages to get around that corner. Perfect timing from him to pick off JW. The rest of Fnatic come rushing up short, but they have to be careful. They have to be worried about walking into a corner here where Forrest may be lurking.
Yeah. He's still got a lot of 12 bullets left. He's going to pick up a kill. That's actually Fnatic helping out. Fnatic are walking into it. Forrest, they're going to do it. It was the calm before the storm, and Forrest is a hurricane of death. He picks up a triple kill and gets an 11-7 scoreline for NiP. What an upset.
That is the eco round that could actually turn everything NiP's way. The money for Fnatic is everywhere. They will force up. They will go for the buy because they have to. They can't let NiP run away with this. They need to make sure that they keep NiP as far away as possible with the rounds, because as soon as NiP start getting some momentum, this could get very difficult for Fnatic. Full buy on NiP's side, thanks for the kills and thanks to the bonus money. And we shall see how they decide to deal with Fnatic, who have bought 2 rifles and 3 CZs.
Complete brilliance. Fnatic walked into that bomb site expecting to have the proper range to deal with it, and they almost did it. And Forrest put down his foot and stopped them.
That crossfire setup by the man on the site proper, and Forrest as well, just brutal to walk into there as Fnatic. You're going to get torn to shreds. Yeah. NiP now just playing this very safely. They know that Fnatic are hard pressed right now. They know that Fnatic are under pressure and that they need to find entry frags to make their lives easier getting onto these sites. But Fnatic, they're peeking these angles, hoping to catch somebody from NiP off guard, and that's just not the case. NiP are perfectly content right now to play passively and let Fnatic come to them. They're making sure that Fnatic know exactly how it feels to be on the receiving end of this.
I do like the fact that Fnatic have done this, though. They realize that if, you know, again, if you both buy the ticket, you can't win the lottery, so they have 2 AKs in the mix here to try and see if they can do it, and some pistols to follow up with an armor as well. Not opening happening here. Flauren's going to take down one, and Forrest will pick it up. Great grenade coming out here from Pronax. Will do some more damage. NiP are very softened up, but Get Right, doesn't matter how little HP he's got, he's going to pick up a triple kill, a double kill actually, sorry, and Flusher will go down after the 1. So a fairly successful round for Fnatic, but nowhere near enough. Double for Get Right, double for Forrest, and now Fnatic are going to eco. They have no choice. And this is, I mean, NiP's economy is already not looking that bad, and now it's going to start really building up. 11-8. 3 rounds is nothing at this point.
3 rounds is very easy for NiP to get a hold of. This is a very balanced map, but it's slightly goes CT side, which is why we say we need at least 5 rounds on the T side at the end of the first half, because in that T side you can run it all, or in your CT side rather, you can run it all the way back, and we're seeing that now from NiP. Since that eco round, they're closing the gap. 3 rounds is nothing. And Fnatic realize it. Fnatic spending a very small amount of money in this round, in fact. Only $300 picked up, and that's on Flusha with that CZ.
And they actually, Flusha has about 2,750 left still, so I really wish he would have gone for a smoke and a flash or anything like that. Putting a bomb down in the bomb site right now would be so good for Fnatic. NiP won a bunch of rounds in the first half because they could actually buy more than they should have been able to. They got so many eco round plants, and Fnatic right now needs to do exactly the same thing, but they're not giving themselves much of an opportunity with just pistols. Grenades are the key to getting into a bomb site.
Grenades do certainly make life easier. Flashes, smokes, and it's what I expect to see from Fnatic as well, seeing as how they've come up with so many tricky plays in the past, managing to get smokes down, go for the plant in the smoke, being unpredictable. That is definitely Pronax's way. But right now they're just gathering up, and it seems like they want to zerg down this side as quickly as possible, but the crossfire is set up. Get Right finds the first frag on Flusha, and Freiburg will calmly click away a second one there. There will be no plant here for Fnatic this round. 20 seconds left on the clock. The man alive, JW, not for long, as Exist rotates in from CT, and Olofmeister, who's patiently been waiting this entire time, hoping perhaps to catch somebody on the rotation, will walk away empty-handed. He walks right into Forest, and actually, I spoke too soon. Olofmeister gets a fantastic kill.
And gets to save the AK. What a cheeky round, and that's probably going to have Forest be a little bit annoyed here. He's going to survive the round as well. No!
Oh,
What?
Florin.
I spoke exactly half a second too soon. And that has a huge impact on the round now. Olofmeister, that AK would have been worth its weight in gold, and as a result instead, he's going to have a CSET 75. He died after the time ran out, so he does not get the win bonus. That's how the economy system works if you're on the terrorist side. That is a big blow to Fnatic.
I mean, that is brutal, especially when you think you survived the storm that is Forest, only to get gunned down by Fiflar, and now Fnatic, they do still manage to get full nades on Olofmeister, so he can contribute, and with the CZ, we know just how dangerous he is, but Fnatic are not going to be pleased about that. They've already put it out of their minds right now. They're just trying to set up to see, get the map control. They've got control of A apartments. They've got control of lower banana, at least, really just trying to put shots through and see if they can do any damage to the man holding on the other side.
Right now, the top fragger in this game is Get Right with 24 kills, very closely followed by Olofmeister at 23, who's actually been leading the scoreboard the whole game through. But now Get Right he's been waking up on a whole new level. This is basically the Get Right redemption that we're seeing here. Flusher is going to be putting a grenade through the smoke, not connecting with anyone, and the time is running out here for Fnatic. 40 seconds left, and they were shaping up to make it an A push, but I think they might actually change their minds here.
Well, they could decide to fake it. I mean, it really depends. The smoke is going to clear and JW is going to push through. Freiburg is holding though, but they're really trying to sell this right now. Fnatic using so many nades towards this A site, and now they've managed to pick off Freiburg, who was holding alone on that B site. The bomb should get planted here for Fnatic as they try and make their way across to that bomb site. Get Right madly spraying through, and he does massive damage, but then Olofmeister, peekaboo, catches him off guard, and Fnatic in a terrific position now.
Yeah, should be an almost unwinnable round for NiP here. Exist is caught in a really weird position, and the bomb has already been planted. Olof does go down, so it's a 2-on-3. Fnatic, they gotta hold on to this. This could be deciding the whole grand finals. If they lose this, Fnatic, after having such a great start, such a great entry, I'm sure they can mentally recover. Forest is gonna take down Flush, and now it's a 2-on-2. Can they hold on to it? There's still far ticked. Exist warning in, finding Pronax in the corner, but Pronax survives. Fantastic play. Forest comes in to try and do it, but Pronax just staying safe, and that's going to be the end. Crims with the double. Great play from Fnatic. The opening and then the patient play afterwards.
Fantastic work. You can see how cool they are. Still calm and collected. They lose everybody, but this is not a problem for them. They got the round, and that's what's important. They get NiP to spend a lot of money re-equipping, and now they have a real chance going into this. If they pick up this next round, Fnatic are going to shatter NiP's economy, and they're going to be right on the doorstep of that 15th round.
But because they lost everyone themselves last round, it works both ways. This is the difference between NiP making it 11-12 or Fnatic making it 14-9, and it starts with a kill from Get Right, and a second one to follow it as a Crims goes down, and they fall back to safety, which is exactly what you need to do. 5-on-3, and Fnatic now, they got to win this.
Fnatic now, they have no room for error, and NiP have to play exactly the way they're playing right now. In fact, not peek. Do not peek. Do not give any information away to Fnatic. Do not give them the opportunity to get an entry frag or a refrag or any kind of kill at all. It has to be very calm here on NiP's side. They wait because Fnatic are under pressure right now. Fnatic, the time is bleeding off of this clock. They've still got plenty of it at 55 seconds, but eventually, as they fail to find the kills, the pressure is going to mount for Fnatic, and they're going to be forced into a very difficult position. Exist is waiting around that corner. He is peeking the angle. He does not manage to spot Pronax, however.
They are 3-on-3 in this bomb site, but if they lose just a single person, the backup's going to come in here. They need to move swiftly. They need to kill NiP in a matter of seconds and get the bomb down. That's what's on the menu here. Pronax looking for the opening. Fiflaren staying alive. 25 seconds, and as Exist and Forest, and now Flusher alone. And this is going to be an eco. Fiflaren jumps and hits a perfect headshot, and that is it. 12-10, very, very likely going to be 12-11 here, as Fnatic don't have the money. They actually have so little money, they might even have to double eco unless they want to have to go for Galil's.
Exactly, exactly. The pressure now mounts for Fnatic yet again. This is just such a back and forth match, Anders. We couldn't wish for anything better than this to settle the title here at Gamescom 2014, the second major of the year. To refresh everybody here, if you're just tuning in, Fnatic are the first team to have won a major in CSGO history. NiP have made the finals of every major to this point, but today could be the day that NiP finally break the streak and pick up their first title.
It's what they've been wanting since DreamHack. That's what they've been hunting for, and getting revenge on Fnatic, that has to be high on their plate as well, high on the menu. Forest shooting down through, and there's even a Molotov here. They already deal pretty well, and the thing is, for Fnatic's point of view, anti-ecos work much better on the CT side than they do on the terrorist side. CSET 75 can still be good, but Fnatic can't even invest into it. They have to go 100% eco here.
JW the only one with firepower, really, but NiP are not giving him any options yet again, playing very passively from back on the site. This is about as passive as you can get. A good pop flash there. Exist not finding the opportunity to get the frags, however, leaves his mate, but they should be falling back. Fiflaren is hungry. He wants the eco frags, and he's going to get one at least. Pronax will hunt him down, however, punish him in the end, and Forrest gets caught by JW.
Yeah, good return there from Exist, instantly picking it up, and a really, really nice detail from NiP over by what we sometimes call Little Pit, that corner they were fighting at, as the forward NiP player actually ducks so that Fiflaren can shoot from behind. In that kind of pressure situation, it takes only one misstep and you get a team kill instead of a kill on an enemy, and that's not something you can afford here. Those mistakes cost you the game. Freiberg with an instant headshot, and it is going to be 11-12. 2 kills for Fnatic's actually pretty good with just Glocks, so they're going to be all right, happy about that. But now comes the question, do they force or do they, and this is what they do instead. They're gonna go for some grenades, which I think is great. Olofmeister had enough for an armor, so he's just gonna be, evening out his money here. Fnatic have to go for basically double eco.
They do, but that takes real sang-froid on Pronax's side. Because to actively decide we are going to give them another round, when you know that NiP, they're getting the momentum, they're starting to get the bank behind them, and they're on the CT side, but you're still going to give them another round, that is a huge decision by Pronax to make. Oh, Flusha with the team kill on.
That's minus 3,300. That team kill can mean everything for Fnatic. The upcoming buy can be so handicapped now.
That's a real problem. I mean, that is a real problem. That's about worst case scenario now, as we can see on the scoreboard. Flusha down to $0. And again, it's almost as bad as the case with Olofmeister. He's just not going to have any money going into this next round. Pronax, Pronax is right now in his mind is going over what they're going to do with 5 members who are fully equipped. And once again, in a crucial round, he's going to be 4 members with rifles and only 1 with full nades.
This AK from Flusha, I mean, actually, I really wish they'd give this AK to Olofmeister because he has the armor for it. They're gonna go for a B push here, as we can tell, but can they make it through with just 1 rifle? If they can, that turns the whole game around.
If they get the timing right here, Exist is working his way into an angle, but there are 3 smokes on Fnatic right now. They can cut off coils, they can cut off CT, they can cut off practically everywhere here and really funnel down the defense on this site. But Get Right is alive behind new boxes, already spotted instantly. Good spray through the smoke by Exist though, and Get Right stands his ground, not going to live though. Olofmeister with that CZ guns him down, and we're into a 2-on-3 retake situation now for NiP. 10 seconds left on this clock though. Fnatic desperately need this plant, and they will manage it. Flusha throws down that bomb, gives his team the extra 800, and that is crucial for Fnatic going forward.
Very, very important, especially for Flusha, who's very low on money here. Forrest going to pick up the kill on Flusha, and Olofmeister alone 1-on-3, and they're going to come in from every angle. So they retake the bomb side, no big surprise. But that bomb plant was very good. Fnatic, they're making the absolute most out of these situations. And there's actually going to be 3,500 on Flusha. Now that's plus the $800 bonus he had. Without it, he would have been down to 2,700, and it would have been a very, very different situation. So 12-12, it is tied here in the grand finals for the final map. Ladies and gentlemen, this is as close as it gets.
This is a thing of beauty, and JW now, this is what Pronax has in mind. Going for the ecos like this allows him to go for the expensive rifles. He has that sniper rifle now, and JW is a terror on Inferno with just this weapon. But this is actually going to change up the strategy for Fnatic now, because in the end, Olofmeister is rushing up into the apartments. He's going to go for a very fast flash around the corner. Forrest is not going to be able to spot that in time. Turns away, gets flashed, but Crims has now worked his way in as well. Fnatic just throwing their weight around so aggressively on this map to get map control away from NiP, to put the pressure on the defense.
It has to happen eventually. It just has to happen for Fnatic. They need an opening to get back in here. It's so close. If NiP are forced to eco at any point during the remaining 5 rounds here, that could be Fnatic's victory right there.
And JW is going to be taking point. This is where, once they have the map control, they rely on him then to open things up for them. And with that op and with how quick he is, his reactions lightning fast, Fnatic are going to be counting on him to open things up, and if Exist continues to pick that angle like he's been doing nearly every round, this could be big. JW now going to work his way around Exist. He's on the angle. There's the shot, but JW misses it. A crucial shot, and he does not manage to land.
That has been happening a little bit too often. Smokes out. JW misses again. Now is the time. He's already had 2 strikes. He needs to land it right here. Flashbangs in from Olofmeister. They're going to go for a crunch on the B-bomb side. They're swapping it up. Olofmeister just a distraction. Pronex with a great opening. Olof goes down, and now the distraction is gone, but inside the B-bomb side, that's where it really matters, and it is none other than Friberg holding it. He's got to come up big with at least 1 and preferably 2 kills here. From the backer side, peeks out and flushes, crushes him. There's going to be 8 seconds left. The bomb will go down here. Now it's a 3 on 3, sorry, it was a 4 on 3.
Oh, and that was a crucial play there by Fiflarvin now actually taking out JW. That gives control of Banana to NiP. That means they can split up this side if they so wish it. Crims spotting a man out. That is Fiflarvin from Coils. And they close in now like sharks. NiP, if they can find a frag very quickly here, they will go for this.
Fnatic are on the same side of the bomb side. There's no crossfire. They're just being shot down here. Crims is going to be shot now. Flusher and Pronex, great kills coming in. Exist alone, and there's almost no time left. He's going to fake it once, but they have it. Fnatic, they find the round, and it's Flusher picking up a triple and Pronex with a double. Great round from Fnatic. That post-plant position looked like it was going to cost them the round. They were all on the same side of the bomb site. If NiP had managed to line them up, that would have been horrendous.
And they just barely hold in the end. You're right, that flank potential not panning out for NiP, and Exist running out of bullets at the end. He came so close to getting the final frag, but at that point, the bomb had ticked down so far that he would have never been able to get the defuse. So Fnatic, when they go for the big buy, they make it work for them. They are now on 13 rounds, 3 more rounds, and they secure the victory here and their 2nd title. This would be the first time in CSGO history that a team could potentially pick up 2 major titles.
Oh, but Fiflarvin, are you joking? He's going to pick up a triple kill, goes for the USP, not going to get the quad, but they do it! Fnatic, they have no money left. NiP take the round, and that's going to be 13-13. Gamescom, we've hit over 400,000 viewers right now consecutively. Make some noise!
The most viewers for any CS event in the history of the game. This is a momentous moment, and we are having a most fitting game to celebrate. Now, 13-13, Fnatic, only pistols, no money left on their side, and NiP, once again, the opportunity to get on the brink of match point. And Fnatic, the pressure has to be monstrous on their shoulders right now. Pronex, only man with the P250, but they have yet again not invested much at all into this round. 1,100 value on that team, and they're looking to just YOLO out onto the site right away. Forrest waits around the angle, but he's going to be able to drop back to a decent position, actually, right back at the pit, and this is perfect. This is exactly where he needs to be to cut them off and catch them as they drop from the sky.
Yeah, and Exist is there to help out Forrest with a really great kill. It's going to be a 3rd one right there. Flusher alone. 14-13 is coming as Fnatic lose every single member, and it's going to be exactly what happens. Semler, if they had pushed a little bit sooner, a little bit later, anything. There were so many positions where Forrest could have instantly got picked off, but they chose exactly the wrong moment. He just got himself into the right position.
Exactly, just in time, and danced around the pillars, stayed alive, and did his job. But now it's crunch time, it's do or die time for Fnatic. 13 rounds, and they've just put the buy together. 3 Galils, limited nades, head armor on only 3 members. And Friberg, he's hungry. He's gonna go ahead and start a barbecue down on Banana. Flusha is cut off from his teammates. Friberg steps forward and gets the first, and Get Right will actually get a volley frag.
They kill each other. Except that Get Right got it with the Molotov. That's an interesting turn of events. But from Geiberger is really low on health here. 16 is what he has. And 4-on-4, this is actually a great opening from Fnatic. Much better than they have the last couple of rounds. Can they drive it all the way home?
As in this position, it's the T side with the advantage if they can bring it to even numbers. But Forrest takes a peek, does a little bit of damage, goes for the flash, and this could be big opportunity, but he's not going to get anything. He decides to wrap around and try and cut them off before they can make it into CT spawn, and Forrest does it. Headshot on Prodax to slow things down, and Freiberg, brilliant position! Massive damage dealt!
And Exist is still in the back side. Olofmeister's going to try and find him. They got to get this kill, but Exist retaliates. The NiP captain stands tall, and now they're going to get the last kill as well. 15-13, and NiP match and map point. They might finally take a major. Second at DreamHack, second in Katowice, and now at Gamescom in Cologne. They might finally have a chance.
One round away, and Fnatic are spending everything they can to get equipped in this round. Krims will take the hit and drop the AK for Olofmeister, who will be the only fully equipped man on Fnatic. But now is the time. Do Fnatic manage to run this back, or do NiP secure the title? All of the decision, everything has to come from Pronax at this point. Smokes and flashes everywhere, but they are getting control of A apartments, Fnatic, taking what little they can. They have been smoked off from the bottom of a banana. Once again, NiP going with this strategy, but NiP are patient. They lie in wait. They've waited practically a year for this moment. Will they secure it right here, right now, in this round?
Get Right currently has 28 kills. He's 2 away from another 30 bomb here in the tournament. And we are just rounding the minute on the timer here. As Fnatic make their way around, they have 1 AK and nothing but pistols. What you've witnessed in this tournament is a broken NiP team managing to resurrect themselves, and Exist picks up 2 kills. Forrest with the shot as well. Olofmeister goes down, and here it comes. 2-on-5, JW and Flusher. There is nothing they can do any longer. NiP have won Gamescom 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, 16-13. It finally happens.
After nearly a year, 2 second place finishes. NiP finally claimed the title. They are the champions. Gamescom 2014. And despite Fnatic's best efforts, it goes the distance. It goes all 3 maps. And we have our champions, the best team in the world, Ninjas in Pajamas. Yes!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the champions of ESL 1 Cologne 2014. Let's hear it for Ninjas in Pajamas! And that is just about it from 2014's Cologne ESL 1 Championship. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for coming down to Gamescom. And thanks to all of the production that went into this, behind the scenes, Daniel and the crew, to all of the commentators and all the players that helped us out over the weekend as well. And big props to our sponsors, BenQ, and to Mad Cats. Hopefully we'll have another major very shortly, but from now, that is it from Gamescom 2014. Your champions once more are Ninjas in Pajamas!